From the heart of Bradford, this is BCB 106.6 FM.
So I'm with Mark Bauer and Danny Boshell, who are the current management team at Bradford Park Avenue. Welcome to BCB, guys. Thanks for your time this morning. So I understand from your, I think, newish Director of Football Operations, Martin, that in these days of uncertainty around the future of football, professional and semi-professional football, that you've both actually been given new contracts recently. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. We were both contracted for the next season anyway. But right. Martin's come on board and there's a lot of developments going on at the ground. Plans in place to improve the facility and the academy setup, and Martin's put in place alongside Gareth Roberts, the owner, a long-term plan to get the club on a more sustainable footing and something that can last for a long time, and something that can play a really important part in the community as well. So we're just a part of that. Looking after the first team is a part of that whole vision, and obviously that's going to be our main focus. But we're obviously going to be taking interest in the academy and the whole wider range of the club, and hopefully we can play a part in helping it to become a real positive place for people at Bradford to come, young and old.
Yeah. So Danny, I was just talking to Mark before you came on about the players and their kind of work commitments and the sort of jobs they have. Could you just say that again, Mark? So your players are semi-professional and they all have other jobs as well?
Yeah, so we're semi-professional. So the normal setup for a non-league club like ours is the players train on a Tuesday and a Thursday night, or sometimes we'll have a game on a Tuesday night. And obviously play games on a Saturday. So most of the players, certainly the older players, probably 22, 23 and above, have got full-time jobs, which they'll do 9 to 5 or whatever they might do during the week. And then they'll obviously do the football. Some of the younger players that we've got, they may see the football as, us as a sort of stepping stone almost. They'll still have ambitions to get into full-time football, and maybe they'll live with parents. So the little money they get paid from us as a part-time football club, just almost pocket money as such, but they're really here to try and enhance their careers and move on and gain experience and hopefully get themselves back into full-time football, which really is just the one level above where we currently are. Okay,
Danny, I'll bring you in. So you're the sort of management team for Bradford Park Avenue. How do you split that role? I mean, is one of you actually in charge more than the other one, or how does it work?
Oh yeah, he's laughing there. Obviously, Mark's the manager. I'm the assistant. That's my role. I've got my ideas. Mark's got his, and we just obviously bounce them off each other, Mark, don't we? Shall we say? And
yeah, I think that's right. We've both been in the professional game, and I've worked for managers where you knew the manager was the manager, and he made all the decisions, and his assistant probably just helped out with a bit of training. Worked with other managers where they had a real close bond with their assistant and very much a team effort, and certainly see us as more that kind of thing. We're very close. We live very close together, known each other for a long time, and I wouldn't go ahead and make a decision without going through it fully with not just Danny, but we've got Ryan Tulson and who's part of our staff as well, and a couple of the others that we make a decision. Ultimately, I guess I've got the final say.
Mark's the manager, and like he says, we've both got his ideas, and we'll go through things together along with Ryan. But Mark, has a final say on what he wants to do. Sometimes you might feel quite strongly about some stuff and push him a bit the other way, but Mark's got the final decision on the team selection and things like that. End of the day, he's the manager. So, but no, it works well. We've been doing it now, about 7-8 years, haven't we, for when we're at Guiseley, and it's obviously, if you look back on what we've done so far, we've done quite well. So it seems to be working at the moment anyway.
So how long have you been working together at Bradford Park Avenue?
It was September 2016 that we started there with a little little break at the end of last season where the club wanted to make a few changes, which I guess didn't go as they planned, and we were asked to come back in. I think it was September last year. Obviously, last season was disrupted for various reasons and finished because of what's going on now with the coronavirus. So Martin's coming in this period to oversee everything in the club, and we've had a few meetings with him and spoken regularly with him, and really, really optimistic about the long-term plans that the club have in place. That the problems we've had in the past is we've been in and Gareth Roberts funds the club enormously in order to keep it going and competing at the level that it's at. But there's been no real plan off the pitch to make the club more appealing, to get more people in to support us. The academy's not really grown, so Martin's got a really good, strong plan in place to grow all those areas. Revenues from different areas, sponsorship, and like I say, the academy, and anything else that can help grow the club, not just financially, but getting more people coming into the ground and knowing who Bradford Park Avenue are and what they're about. Because 50 odd years ago, Bradford Park Avenue were as big as Bradford City as such. Getting big crowds and in the football league, and not saying that that's going to happen anytime soon, but if we can build a base and make it more more known, I guess, in the local area, then we can certainly grow it and make it more, that word again, sustainable, where there's people coming through the gate and using the facilities and supporting the team.
So just in terms of your players, how big's your squad, and are there issues about contracts, because it's sort of coming up to season end, isn't it? And also, what are the players doing at the moment? Danny, do you want to...
I hope they're following the guidelines and self-isolating. And
okay.
But we've it's the end of the season as such, so the players are out of contracts. We've been negotiating with some of the ones that we want to keep. Others have left the club, so at the moment we've probably got 5 or 6 players committed and tied down for next season. It's a really uncertain time because I think a lot of clubs don't know what sort of incomes they're going to be getting next year, when we're going to be starting. So we're in a bit of unknown territory at the minute. So we're really pleased with some of the players that we've agreed deals with now, a real core, ones that'll be popular with our supporters and fans' favourites that we're almost tied down with. And then usually we'd be looking for new recruits, targets that we get. But again, we Football League's not finished. We don't know what's happening there. We'd be looking to recruit players, younger players that are released from those clubs. That's not happening yet. So we're in a little bit of unknown. We're just putting lists together and trying to work on some ideas to get the best possible players we can to give us a good chance of competing well in a really difficult league next year. Danny's been on with plenty of players. I've been doing the same, and that's just what it is at the minute. We're certainly using every minute I've got on my phone.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So just watching the telly and listening to the radio at the moment, there seems to be sort of two schools of thought about sport returning in the country. There's the group of people who are desperate to get on. We need sport back, and it's good for us all, and we miss it terribly. And then there's we want to be really cautious about this, and we don't want to risk a second spike in the virus. So, how does Bradford Park Avenue? Where are you with that, Danny? What's your feeling on I think the way back?
I think right from the start when it all happened, I think mine and Mark's opinion was straight away. I just think, definitely my opinion is that I just think we got to null and void the season. I mean, the health risk for people and things like that. Not people going about the supporters coming in and coming watching games. It's the players as well. It's a contact sport and things. But I think it's gone on. As long as it's gone on now, where I just think it'd be so hard to go, and start back playing again, even for the Premier League and things like that. I mean, I'm a Liverpool fan, so yeah. I still just think they've just got to null and void the season. To be honest, I think that's where it's got to be. But I think they're unsure, aren't they? I mean, it's massive decisions. So who knows?
I think
go on, sorry, Mark.
For clubs at our level. The Premier League, and as it works its way down, they get TV money and they get money from all other avenues. The gate money for clubs at our level is massive. So, talking about playing behind closed doors for a couple of months, we'll have serious implications for clubs at our level. The one thing that the clubs at our level do, or a majority ones do, they'll only pay players through the season. So the season is due to end at the end of April. Clubs are not paying players now, so they can get through this period hopefully. But then once we start the season, they're paying players again, and it's the biggest overhead. And obviously, if that game's being played behind closed doors, many clubs at this level are going to find it almost impossible to pay players. So when we're able to start again and safely, it's got to be at our level. Certainly, it's got to be in front of paying spectators, because otherwise there's no league.
Yeah. Okay. Are you actually meeting with the players at the moment? And doing any training together, or is everybody doing their own thing?
No, we stopped on it. The last game, Bowes were Curzon Ashton. I think we've had something like the 15th, 16th of March. We haven't seen the players since then, yeah. So, obviously, just through like video calls and obviously phone calls, and we speaking to players. And obviously, we are now on Zoom.
Players that play at our level, they're only training twice a week, and to be able to play and compete at the level that we're at, they've got to have self-discipline and do their own work, do their own training. And one or two have been sending images of their data from runs that they've been doing whilst they've been off, and showing the times that they've got. So if players didn't look after themselves away from the football club and away from the training we do, they wouldn't be able to compete. They wouldn't have the fitness levels to compete at this level. So
you trust them?
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of trust. No, that first couple of weeks when we finished, we didn't know exactly what was going to happen, whether we were going to play again. So we obviously encouraged the lads, we trusted them, the lads to look after themselves and make sure they were ready as and when we were to come back. I think the longer it's gone on, we've seen that we're not going to be back playing until August, September at the earliest, by the sounds of it. So their plans, I guess, just sort of need to be in place to get ready and peak at that sort of time.